investigations, specialty units. Had a variety of assignments at command level. I've supervised training of new officers, training of firearms. I taught at our state police academy, and I'm very happy to be here now. So, if you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Hillary Hines issued a very lengthy report with a lot of recommendations. What are your top 3 priorities for what needs to be done next?
It's hard to put many of those things in priority. There was 50 recommendations that came to the Hillary Hines report, and I have read the report. My first thoughts here, again, I've only been here a week, I'm still trying to understand the agency itself, is they need a mission. And that was one of the critical things that I saw in the Hillary Hines report, is a clear and defined mission. And during my tenure, the mission of Metra PD will be the safety and protection of their ridership and the employees. In my opinion, if you protect the people, the protection of the infrastructure comes with it. So protecting the people and a mission that reflects that will be my first mission. The second mission, that's one of the glaring things I see in that report, is how they are staffed and the use of overtime. I still don't have all the nuts and bolts of how they're currently set up, but reallocating their staffing and reducing their personnel costs would be one of my other priorities while I'm here. Those are about the only 2 I can put my hands around right now. I just haven't been here long enough.
So do you think you would be hiring more people in order to reduce the overtime?
I don't know yet. I have to look and see how they're allocated. It may be a staffing allocation issue, or it could be a lack of personnel issue, but I really need to get a better handle on who's here and what they're doing before I can answer that.
Would you consider hiring Chicago police under a contract to take care of to patrol the Metra trains the way the CTA does, rather than hiring more police to work at Metra?
I would have to leave that to Metra itself. I believe that you shouldn't mix contracts and law enforcement. You have law enforcement agency, we should hire more officers. If we don't have enough, we need to hire more. But those should be Metra employees. If we're going to put more people on, I don't believe we should have contracts and employees in a combination.
Okay, if I can add to that, please understand that Chief Perez just joined the team, and what we're going to need to do is let him get familiar with what we have out there and make some good, solid recommendations based on data, and then we'll have to go over it. I'm expecting the chief and I to work very, very closely. The chief reports directly to the executive director, and we will have conversations regularly on what his findings are and some recommendations, and we'll talk about that. And we will share that information in our board meetings with everybody as we migrate through this.
Well, he said your top priority is protecting the people that means over the property?
Protecting the people who ride the trains, the customers, the patrons of Metra. That is and will be the #1 priority while I'm here.
Do you
So
anticipate
who's gonna
having
protect
more
the-
officers ride on trains per se, which is one of the
Absolutely.
issues? People will be seeing, customers will be seeing more officers on
Yes, sir.
trains? Do you have any idea how you can implement that? I mean, you've got
Again,
700
that all
trains a
goes
day.
back to my getting a handle on how they're currently staffing, if they have appropriate personnel, the appropriate number of personnel or not.
Mhm. What about the issue of overtime? 2.4 million in 2012, 18%, I believe, 17%, much more so than the average for a police department. I believe Hillary Hines said 5 to 6% range. How do you attack that? How do you change that?
That is high. 18–20%, I also believe is high for a law enforcement agency. Again, I have to look at how they're staffed, whether it is a staffing issue and how they're allocated, or is it a lack of personnel. Until I get a better handle on how the operation is working here, I can't answer that. That is one of my priorities.
Mm-hmm. How about the total number of police? I believe it's about 105, something like that.
That's my understanding.
Is that a good number?
Hard to say at this point. I've been here a week, so they may be allocated inappropriately, or they may not have enough. And I've had that discussion with the executive director during my interview process. That there may need to be higher, but until I'm here a little longer to get an idea of how their processes work here and how they're allocating their people, I just can't answer it. I'm sorry.
If I can interject here, I think what the chief said initially was he's got to look at the mission statement, because the